Here's another one that's getting equal parts, oh my God, don't do it, and oh my God, I can't wait reactions. And that's Tarantino's latest. This is the big movie news from the past week. That Tarantino, it slipped out that he's putting the finishing touches on a script involving, in some measure, the Manson family murders, and that he's already approached a couple of talents for key roles, like Brad Pitt and Jennifer Lawrence and Margot Robbie. So there's a lot to swallow here and to talk about, so let's discuss. What are your thoughts, first of all, about the prospects of a Manson family Tarantino style?
I think it's great. I mean, I think it's a great idea. I guess some people are saying, I don't know, I guess they're saying that Manson's been overdone in movies, but where's the proof in that? There's been two versions of Helter Skelter.
TV.
And then there's, which is a TV movie, obviously, both of them. And I know that there was Manson Massacres back in the 70s, but that's all I can think of. I mean, there was that Manson Family Vacation, is Manson related, and then the documentary, of course.
But don't forget the Jeremy Davis one from a couple of years ago. Remember
that?
That
a remake.
That was a remake. Okay, all right, all right.
So and then there was a TV show recently, but that's about it.
There are a ton of Manson family movies, actually, and they're all like independent cult little films that that really very few have seen that are
I don't count
much
those.
Available.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know they've been out there, but nobody's seen them. So how can people be sick of it? It's like you. First of all, there's never been a big screen treatment of it ever, and it's something that really should have been done a long time ago. I remember going through Helter Skelter. That great 90-page photo insert that's in the middle of it, and going, boy, what a great movie this would make, and trying to cast the movie in my mind. This was like 20 or 30 years ago, so I was thinking, this was back when De Niro was younger, and I was thinking, boy, De Niro would make a great Charles Manson.
That would have been a great choice at the time. I mean,
yeah, but I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens. It would be smart to expand the story to show how it affected the city and the nation, I guess. But
I think that's one of the important things. I won't lie. When I saw the announcement, I rolled my eyes, not just because I was like, okay, this is. But then when I thought, you sit back and think about it. All right, remember, he was talking about doing research on the year 1970 and how that was for him. He said that was the most pivotal year in cinema. So okay, this is related to that. But then he says, he wants to focus on Sharon Tate, which is a really important thing to focus on because that gets lost, I think, when we talk about Charles Manson.
The lives of all the victims.
Yeah,
really lost.
It gets lost because we keep talking about the family, the girls. We keep always talking about them. I picked up a book yesterday that came out like a year or two ago called The Girls, which is about a novel that is a recent novel about the Manson girls, and a lot of things get lost in that. And then a lot of people, I think, are thinking that, oh, God, Tarantino's going to glorify it. That's the last thing we know. Tarantino's not going to glorify it. I mean, I think it's safe to say that he is not going to glorify the murders.
Why would you say that?
Because he doesn't. I don't think he glorifies. How do I say this? Yes, Tarantino makes movies that have scenes of violence. But it's not. I don't think his movies are excessive in violence. They're talkies. His movies are talkies. Let's not forget that. He is very much is very much in love, and rightfully so, with his own dialogue. So I don't think his films will glorify the violence, glorify the murders.
Well, I'm prone to believe you if he stays on his current track of like Hateful Eight, Inglourious Basterds, that kind of movie. But he has also made movies that exist to kind of wallow and exuberate in violence. I mean, that's what makes the Kill Bill such a exhilarating double feature, you know. But so as long as he stays more on his current track than a Kill Bill or Death Proof, you know, and I think he will. I mean, he's a great storyteller.
I think he got that all out of his system.
My impression is that he is telling a wider angle story about how the free love generation died with this event and how it might have caused a cultural shift. And I think Sharon Tate is probably just a part of that. But the family, their surviving family members are worried because they don't want anything to kind of glorify the actual murderers. So that's the big question mark. If whatever he does with Sharon Tate's story, if he makes her a singular character that provokes empathy and not just somebody that is, meat for these people to destroy, you know?
Right. There are two movies, recent movies to keep in mind. Obviously, Fincher's Zodiac is like, and I think it's one of the finest movies of the new century. The other movie, though, to keep in mind, and you may laugh, but we do have to keep De Palma's The Black Dahlia in the rearview mirror just because he is, Tarantino is a devout worshiper of De Palma, and that's just something to keep in mind. De Palma using a novel that is based on one of the most notorious incidents, and also to just keep that in mind of the tone. I don't know what the tone of we have no idea what the tone is, but those are just two movies, recent movies, I think, to keep in mind when thinking about this. Just the thought.
Well, I'm excited about it. I think it's a good idea, and I think it's a subject matter that on the big screen has not really been plumbed as much as it should be. It might seem like, boy, he's going to have to make it long, though. I mean, he's going to have to make this one like a 3-hour movie because there's no way you can tell this story in less time.
No, I don't see how. I don't see how you do it.
So.
Well, I'm excited about it. I mean, I will tell you that when I read the news, I couldn't sleep that night because I kept thinking of the possibilities. It's also probably the most treacherous movie he's probably going to ever mount because so much can go wrong with it. I mean, there has to be the right level of respect, but not at the expense of expressing the true horror of it. And you're dealing with people who were murdered, whose families are still out there and still advocates for victims' rights. And, you have, there's the whole question of, is it going to be the definitive? Because part of me thinks that Tarantino would only take this on if he could do the definitive version of it. Otherwise, the Manson element is just a little part of it. And we don't know for sure if that's the case yet or not. But if he's casting Sam Jackson, I don't know of any black participants in the Manson saga on any side.
Well, that's what makes me think that he's going to enlarge it to show the city, the people in the city and their reactions. So, but that is there aren't any major black participants that I know of, but I could be totally wrong on that. Maybe some of the investigators.
Yeah, maybe, but there's no major player that I know of. I mean, no police, prosecution, defense, witnesses.
Victim.
I can't.
Yeah.
But he's thinking about Brad Pitt, so of course the speculation about who he's casting and what part, if this is a strict Manson family telling. Brad Pitt, I guess, could. I read the other day that it's for Vincent Bugliosi, but it could be for Jay Sebring. I don't know. Margot Robbie does seem perfect for Sharon Tate, though.
Yeah,
and if
he might be a little. Pitt. I was thinking Pitt for Sebring too, but he might be a little old on that point because Pitt's now in his early 50s, and Sebring was 35 when he passed away. So
yeah, I don't know. And then Jennifer Lawrence,
who could easily play one of the girls. I mean, because some people were saying, "Oh, well, who's she gonna play?" You know, the girls were all ugly. No, they weren't. They were. Some of them were really hot. So I mean, you know, she could be Kasabian or somebody like that. But it'll be interesting. Of course, you know, Manson. I can't think. I really, you know, Jeremy Davies was really good as Manson in that. He was
the ideal. Yeah,
he was.
Mm-hmm.
And but he might be too old now for it. So and he certainly wouldn't. He certainly wouldn't want to repeat that anyway. But I mean, either Tarantino or Davies probably wouldn't want to repeat. But I have no idea who could be cast in that. I can't think of anybody right offhand. Maybe here's somebody I can. How about Andrew Garfield?
That's possible. I was thinking Kit Harington, maybe, just physically.
I was thinking Garfield because of the black hair and the black eyes, you know, and certainly they could beard him up and make him look pretty crazy.
Right.
Well, I don't know. It'll be fascinating just hearing news about it as it goes along. So
yeah,
that'll be thrilling.